Hi, and welcome to Girl Talk. We are sitting here in a really great place that you may or may not recognize. We've shown this place before on Wisconsin's 57 television on a different show, you can guess. But first time on Girl Talk, that we're at CrossFit Recursive, right off Willie Street, downtown, just short of the square. Having a great time here, talking to a lot of fun people, but we're going to be doing a little workout too. So anyway, CrossFit Recursive. Oh, she's going to start right now. And fitting right in here is a face you may or may not recognize. This is Shauna, and she's a lumberjack, straight up lumberjack. So what does that mean?
That means I do lumberjack water sports. So I'm a log roller and travel around the world competing at a lumberjack events.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
So that fits it right into CrossFit.
Totally.
So if you find yourself on a log with Shauna, do not try to duel her, because she will take you down.
Do not duel Shauna. That's the name of this episode.
She will take you.
We're also going to have some fun talking with a radio personality from a morning show, 93.1 Jams.
I love that station.
What's your favorite little quip that they do on that?
Oh, second date update.
Second date update.
Every single time I hear it, I'm like, this cannot be real. And I've met Marco and Krista before, obviously, and I'm like, guys, off camera, like, come on, like, this can't be real. They're like, it's real. These are real people.
I feel kind of sorry
who call in. I know, like,
you know,
but it's very entertaining. So I mean, keep doing it. So
or inside Krista's head, it makes you feel like you're not alone because of the musings she has. When she's like, you know, you just realize how gross your toothbrush is when you buy a new one. Or another one I remember her saying is it a bad thing that I worry more about getting a speeding ticket than the dangers of speeding?
Yeah, I know. That is so true.
I've not heard that one. Thanks for bringing that up because
great.
just this morning that makes
one of
me
my
feel better, to be
favorites,
quite honest. That's awesome. So we're going to have some other fun guests. We're going to have some other fun things happening, but I want to just kind of touch on a little bit what's going on outside. And I know that like weather can always be like a whatever topic, but for real, has anyone noticed how cool it is outside? It's kind of
been
weird.
So cool here recently. It hasn't, felt like this time of year. It's definitely felt like it's further along in fall.
Windows open, feels nice.
It's been feeling good.
Nice too. I appreciate this kind of weather. Absolutely, it makes me think about fall. And what are your favorite things to do with the nice weather?
I love fall wardrobe. I'm a boots and jeans kind of gal. I
Scarves,
love boots, scarves,
sweaters.
Yeah, you can really
Cider.
accessorize really, really well in the fall. Like you can put little
dark
hats
lipsticks.
Oh, lipstick! We're going to that kind of accessory.
Back to the makeup girl.
She does that. She's
Dark
the
girl.
You can stick with that.
I love that.
So who else are we going to get to talk to today?
We're going to be talking to Hot Pink University, and I stress the U part because it's YO University.
Okay.
But I'm really excited to talk to them because their whole mission is really working with women to kind of unlock their potential and really focusing on self-care and taking care of yourself. And I think that's just such an important topic. I think that, you can say that to any woman and she can relate to that experience, that we all have that tendency to kind of overgive, and if you do that, then sometimes you're left with an empty bucket. But
It's tough. It's so tough to balance it all, whether you're a mom or not. I think we all have so many things going on, and we're trying to be everything to everyone else. That it is. I think we do fall into second place, and it can take a toll.
Absolutely. Well, I think if you look at all of us do wear so many different hats, whether it be multiple jobs or multiple things that you guys like to do outside of work, or you're a mom or whatever it may be. And I think trying to find that balance in your everyday life is so important, and it really is a skill, and learning how to maintain that and bring that into your everyday life is so important. And they actually just wrote a book, so it's something that you can go buy and purchase, and we're going to learn more about it as well. But they just do so many different things.
Yeah, these two women are psychotherapists, so they've seen the gamut. They've worked one-on-one with women, small groups, large groups, and now that they've written this book, they are doing workshops off the book as well. It sounds like they just would be really fun to talk to, and
I know.
I bet we could jibber-jabber with them for hours, relating to all
I
that
just want to
they
hang
have.
out with them,
Yeah,
and pick their brains.
Yeah.
It would be so wonderful.
Yeah, they really bring women together rather than, a lot of times women are catty and can go against one another. They like to bring women together to empower them, which is just fantastic.
It's such an important skill, it really is. But stay tuned.
Oh, stay tuned, please.
That's coming up next.
That's coming up next. That's the break.
Stay with us.
And welcome back to Girl Talk. We're on Williamson Street today at CrossFit Recursive, just a couple blocks down from the Capitol. Later on, I think we'll bust out a few burpees. You might want to stick around for that. Right now, though, we're going to be talking about this book right here, and lucky us, we get to actually chat with the authors. Joining us are Christy and Ann. They are the creators and owners of Hot Pink University. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
A pleasure. I'm really looking forward to learning more about your book. And we will talk about the book in just a few minutes, but let's talk about Hot Pink University. This is something that you two created.
Absolutely.
What is it?
Yeah, so Ann and I are psychotherapists by training, and Hot Pink University really came out of our work with women over the years. We found ourselves in therapy repeating the same thing over and over.
Yeah,
and women are just not taking care of themselves. They're overwhelmed, they're over busy, and Hot Pink University is a way to reignite your passion, your purpose, and your play in life.
That's so true. And I know before the segment started, Janet and I were both talking about, wow, how everything that you guys represent and talk about, we were really connecting to. And I think so many women out there do. And that's what's so cool about this book that you guys wrote, Ignite Your Life, Live Life with Passion, Purpose, and Play. Those are all things I think we can use more of. And
Absolutely.
why those elements, I would say, or why the emphasis on those particular qualities?
So of course, Christy and I love to hear women say we connect with the information you gave us, and we hear it all the time. And Christy alluded to the fact that we really, as women, are hardwired biologically to be nurturers and caretakers, right? And so that's very externally focused, and our way to find that is always outside of us and in our roles we have and in our relationships, and it's for other people.
Yeah.
Hence our mindful play on words in Hot Pink, YOU, right?
Yeah.
University. So really at the core, what's most important about that is that we get very, very wired and focused on everything and everybody but ourselves. And I think that's the biggest challenge. I think that's really at the core, right, of even the title of our book. Like, we really desire to help women find their passion, purpose, and play, their own, right, from the inside out. Yeah.
You know, I read something that said self-care is not indulgent, it's self-respect.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
I like
So
that.
you agree with that, and
Yeah.
why do you think then that taking care of ourselves is so hard?
Yeah, I think Anne hit on it with women are wired to be caretakers biologically, physiologically. And so we get our pleasure out of caretaking others, but then the resentment builds, and women feel like self-care would be selfish, and it's for somebody else, not me. And we are saying to women, fill your cup up first, and the overflow will go to your family, your partners in life, your friendships, not the other way around. And women often do the other way around.
I love that, because if you have an empty bucket, you don't have anything to give.
Right.
Your bucket's got to be full to be
Yeah.
able to give to people.
Yeah.
So I think that's just absolutely perfect. And obviously with this book, you're touching so many lives, but what other ways do you guys work with women?
So we do a wide range of things. We love this phrase that we coined, little, middle, and big, and that would speak to how we work.
Yeah.
We go from as little as a girls' night out or a meetup, right? Whoever shows up, loosely facilitated, to taking women on trips to Turkey and India and anything in between. And we have some really very purposeful, structured immersion programming as well. Our Woman on Fire program is a 6-month intensive program where we dive deep with women to do the very things that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
So it really goes from little, middle to big, and anything and everything in between. We're sometimes hired to come in and do in-services for staff, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, what an amazing message from an organization to bring Hot Pink University in for wellness for their staff. So that would be just a couple examples.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
A couple other thoughts about that?
We will work with women privately and coaching and all kinds of things, events that we put on in Madison and other places in our country. So,
And tying the two together, I saw on your website you can almost, you can get 10 books and sort of have a bundle, book signing and workshop, only you call it a play shop.
Yeah, all of our events are play shops because we work hard enough in life. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And quick before we go here, I had one last question, and I think this is a big one because I think sometimes we get so in a cycle of doing things and being overworked, and it feels kind of hopeless.
Yeah.
So obviously there is hope. Can women learn to juggle it all and take care of yourself too?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lots of nodding going on.
We've done it ourselves in life as mothers and career women, and we've seen women make that transformation for themselves across the years. So
I love
absolutely.
that. I think having that
Ann
hope
and
there is
Christy,
important.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed
Thank
speaking
you.
with you. You can check them out at hotpinku.com. We'll be right back.
Hi, and welcome back to Girl Talk. We are having such a great time here at CrossFit Recursive downtown on Willie Street, right down from the Capitol. They're working up behind us. This place is filled with energy, music. It's so exciting to be here. But I want to switch gears because there's someone very exciting to my left, and you might not recognize this face, but as soon as he starts talking, you're totally going to know who this is because this is Marco from Marco and Krista at 93.1 Jam's morning show. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So happy to have you here on Girl Talk.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. I'm in front of girls. It never happens to me. So. Yeah, they're all pretty. It's amazing.
It's wonderful. Girl Talk is fun, isn't it?
It is. I've enjoyed all the segments so far.
Good. I'm glad to have you. So I think a lot of folks out there probably recognize your morning show, the radio 93.1 Jams. It's on all the time in my car. It's the one that kind of wakes you up, keeps you moving, all that great stuff. But nobody maybe knows how you started this. How did you do it?
Yeah, it's a funny story. My sister worked at a radio station when I was in high school still. So I was 16, and I was obviously enamored with the DJs, and I would go there every day after school and hang out with her while she was selling. And then eventually I started to go into like production studio, and some of the DJs like, hey, do you want to do some of this stuff? Now that I'm in the industry, I know that I was actually doing their work for them. It's called production, and nobody loves to do it. And I was in there, and I loved it. And the program director saw me once, and typically in radio in a small market, the night guy didn't show up once, and so he was like, hey, do you want to go on the radio? And I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. So I got right in, and so my 10th grade year, I worked during the summer, 7 to midnight every night. And my friends thought it was the most amazing thing. I just love it because it's personality. I've always been outgoing.
Yeah.
So it was a good transition, and it's something I knew I wanted to do right away.
That's awesome. It's so cool that you like stumbled into like your calling. You know, you're like, this is kind of a cool place to be. And all of a sudden they're like, somebody didn't show up. Can you?
Yeah.
Now you're like, here, you're Marco.
In 10th grade too. That's got to be so cool to be a high school student. And
yeah, it was good. That was some good times. I actually graduated high school and walked across the stage, got my diploma, and then I went to work that night at a radio station at midnight, because back in the day you started at midnight when you didn't really know. So I went from graduating to work, and I've never stopped. So
that's amazing. What a story. Cool. I'm so glad you're here today.
Switch gears for a second. I know Jams is really involved in the local community. Can you tell us about some of your local events that you host?
Yeah, local is big with us, live and local, because there's a lot of radio stations, believe it or not, that are piped in from New York or Colorado. They all come here, but we live here, we work here. The American Family Children's Hospital is something we're really proud of and excited. We do it every year. It's 3 days for 12 or 13 straight hours. Last year we raised about $770,000 with the help of not only us, but Q106, another Midwest family broadcasting station. So we do it every year. We look forward to it, and it's something that we really love giving back, and the stories are great.
That must be so exhausting but rewarding at the same time to be able to help that cause.
It is. It's like 40 straight hours of working and talking, and then the stories are heart-wrenching, and so it's really tough. But so we love to do that on a local level, a national level. If you want to donate to Hurricane Harvey, we have something set up on our website with Midwest Family Broadcasting, because there's a lot of scams and stuff out there. So you can go to our websites. All the radio stations have them. You can donate there. It's secured. It goes to the American Red Cross. So it's all legitimate. All the money goes to that. We put something
thank you for that. Yeah, we want to make sure that people out there, everybody's feeling like they want to help, and this is a good way to do that. So thank you.
It is.
Yeah, great. Well, we'll look for that on your website. That is so good to know, because we all want to help somehow, but you hate to think of it going toward a scam.
There's a lot of scams on the internet, man. It's hard to even go anymore. I always think, my first thing is everything's a scam until it's not. So.
Good way to start though, actually, at this point. Rather than like, I totally trust that situation.
Oh, my bank account is overdrawn. Yeah, it's not good.
Exactly.
Marco, you guys have a lot of great programs or segments in your show. One of them that I particularly enjoy is At Least You're Not in the News. If you think you're having a bad day, they always have examples of someone that's having a worse day.
Yes.
But another one is called Inside Krista's Head, where she's got musings about different things. We want to get inside Marco's head. Are you ready? We're going to get to know Marco a little bit better.
All right, love it.
What time did you go to bed last night?
About midnight.
Next.
Cardio or weights?
Weights, when I do them.
Let's see. Swimming or mountains? Climbing mountains?
Swimming.
iPhone or Samsung?
iPhone.
Ooh, hey.
Night out partying or relaxing at home?
Ooh, man, that's tough. I want to say partying because I want to be cool, but usually at home.
Good job. Thanks for the honesty. Okay, spaghetti or brats?
I'm Italian, so I go with spaghetti, but I love brats. Actually, I love all food. But
Favorite cartoon character?
Well, my son is a big SpongeBob SquarePants fan, so that has made me one as well.
You gotta be. It's just weird enough that you have to love it. Okay, so this is, again, thank you so much for joining us today. Marco from Marco and Krista's morning show at 93.1 Jams. Listen to them all day. Thank you so much for being here. We'll be back with more Girl Talk here at CrossFit Recursive after the break.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. We are here today, as you know, at CrossFit Recursive, and we've done an outfit change very quickly here. And we're going to do a little mini workout. This is Nicole Gessler. She's one of the co-owners here. Thank you so much for having us today.
Thanks for coming in. We really appreciate it.
Like you guys may have seen, we worked with them on a show called Wisconsin CrossFit Affiliate, so we're very familiar with you guys. I'm a big fan of this place. I actually come here. And a big part of everything that you guys do is so much of the learning process, and it's so important to have correct technique and form. Absolutely. And I know that's a really big emphasis point, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yep, we get a lot of phone calls. I had one actually just before, a woman coming in, she's like, I want to, I'm a little bit older, I want to make sure it's not too intense, I'm not going to get hurt, I have these injuries. And that's part of our intake process, is always to sit down with somebody and find out, you and I were just talking, you have a little bit of a knee issue, some shoulder stuff, and there's always things that we can do, we can always modify and scale. We always want to make sure that you're getting a great workout and being safe and injury free.
So both are possible.
Absolutely.
And
yes.
That's a great point that you bring up too, just the different age ranges and abilities, and that's really true, and I've seen it in the classes that I've been a part of. You have people, all age ranges, all abilities, and everything really is modifiable,
yes.
So it's not something to be intimidated
That's
by.
a really
Absolutely.
neat thing, to be able to see that range working together all
Right.
in the same workout,
Right.
in the same room, at the same time, and high-fiving after.
Yeah, I think it's nice for everybody too, like different generations, bringing them together. We have high schoolers, we've got retirees, and it's nice to kind of bring them together a little bit, close that gap a little bit for people.
Right. And we have all, things we can add to the group, so, and all
Yeah.
different strengths and abilities.
Absolutely.
So what are you going to make us do today?
So
I'm a little
we are going
nervous.
to, I know, so we're going to take you through just a little mini thing here. This is kind of the format of our regular class. We would normally warm up and do some stuff. We're going to work on some skills today. We're going to talk about air squatting, which is a very basic movement. It's one of the first things that you're going to learn if you come into our gym, work on that stuff. Air squats are very, very functional. You think about daily life, getting off the couch. Really, it's kind of gross to talk about, but getting off the toilet. So that's the reason a lot of seniors end up in nursing homes, is because they can't get off the toilet, they can't take care of themselves.
Right.
So that air squat is a very, very functional movement that we have to do. And as we were talking, having knee issues, squatting actually helps them. People think, I can't squat because I have knee issues. If you're doing it properly, which we're going to talk about, you will strengthen your knees and they will be better. And the other functional movement we're going to talk about is burpees. Again, you have the aging generation, they fall on the floor, they can't get up. So that same thing, working on being on the floor, getting up, it's a very functional movement. We need to be able to take care of ourselves. And then put that into practice. We're just going to do a quick 2-minute workout to even just show how like if you increase that intensity, how tired you can be in 2 minutes. You can get a really good workout. You don't need to be on a treadmill for 2 hours to kind of get what you're looking for out of a workout. So
I think there's research right now too about going more intense for shorter amounts of time and actually being more beneficial.
Yes, yep. There's a whole lot of research on that. It raises your heart rate, it burns the calories longer afterwards. Same thing with strength training as well. You actually long term will burn more from strength training than from running long distances. So
Plus you get extra time.
Plus you get extra time.
It's a win-win.
Absolutely.
Cool. So let's dive right into it.
Are you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
All right.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, so that first thing for that air squat, we're going to start with our shoulders, our feet underneath our shoulders, okay? So we got that nice comfortable kind of distance there. We're going to toes point out just a little bit, technically about 12 degrees. So we just want a little bit there. We're going to go ahead, the first thing I want you to do is clench your butt cheeks. And that's going to set your hips in a neutral position, right? You're going to put them there. Then you're going to prepare to get sucker punched. I did have a little kid, I was walking down the stairs the other day, a little kid came up and sucker punched me in the butt. So prepare to get sucker punched, and that's going to lock those hips in that position.
Okay.
We want to keep our chest nice and high, so I like to kind of just grab my thumb, put my elbows by my ears, keep that up there. Then what we're going to do is you're actually going to keep everything locked. You're going to go ahead and lean forward just a little bit to load those hips. You're going to go ahead and push that butt back, push those knees out, and you're going to go down in that squat. And so what we're looking for is that we're looking for our knees to track over our toes, and we never want our knees to go up in front of our toes.
Gotcha.
So every time you're doing that, you should be able to see the tops of your toes. Okay? So go ahead and do a couple of those.
Okay.
Good. How does that feel on your knee?
Good.
Good. Can you get down a little bit lower?
If I go wider.
How deep should you go?
So what we're looking for is the hip crease to go below the top of the knee. That's that full range of motion that we're looking for. Sometimes we get people that come in from high school or colleges and they're told only to not break that parallel, but that is really where you want to go, is just below there. You don't need to bottom out, but you need to go there.
That's important to know.
Those both look really great, all right?
Awesome.
I know we're kind of running low on time here, but the next thing we want to talk about is burpees.
Okay. The dreaded burpees.
I know.
But they're a great workout.
They are, and the sole purpose of burpees is to tire you out, right? It's just to get that heart rate up and then go ahead and do stuff afterwards. So what you're gonna do, I am a little bit taller, so I like to spread my feet just a little bit to lower my center of gravity. Hands are gonna go on the floor underneath your shoulders. We don't want super wide because, as you said, 2 shoulder issues, we don't wanna hurt our shoulders. So hands underneath your shoulders, you're gonna go ahead and kick your feet back. Your chest is gonna hit the floor. You're gonna go ahead and then cobra. Load those hips. The hips are going to go straight up, feet straight, pop back up, and then a jump and clap at the end.
Voila.
Voila. All right. So go ahead, we'll do another one. So hands on the floor, keep your feet back, chest hit the floor, load those hips, pop back up, jump and clap.
Easy
and that's
peasy.
Your burpee, right?
Not so bad.
Wait, show us again, like 10 more times.
No, burpees suck so much. They're really horrible for tall people, right? Because you've got that huge, like, all the way down and all the way up. So CrossFit actually is much more beneficial.
It's a short man's sport.
It's very, very rare that anything is more advantageous if you're short, but CrossFit is one of those.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So how would a workout go? Quick before we go here, we've only got about 30 seconds.
Yep.
How would it look if we put these together?
So if you put that together, we've got a clock over there. We would set the clock for whatever amount of time. This one was 2 minutes, as many reps as possible in 2 minutes. So everybody starts together, they end together, you get 2 minutes. 3, 2, 1, go. You would work through like 10 air squats, 5 burpees, and you would see how many times you could do that in those 2 minutes.
Okay.
So we can take it out with that if you want.
Right? And quick before we go, maybe you want to explain to people while we get started, how do people get started here at CrossFit Go?
The first thing that we would do is have you go to our website or call or email us, and we have a no sweat introduction that we do. And so what we do is we have you come into the gym, we sit down and first we talk about your goals. We want to know what you want to do and the best way to get started. We have a lot of programs here. We have personal training, we have nutrition, we've got those RX classes, we've got small group CrossFit classes. And so we want to know what your goals are, how to do that. We'll sit down, talk about how to get started.
You guys are just great here. My heart's already pumping as you're standing.
Right?
Oh, great workout. Thank you guys so much for having us today.
Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
And again, we're here at CrossFit Recursive, and this has been Girl Talk. Keep watching Wisconsin's 57 television.